Hey, everybody. Sorry for being a couple minutes late, but we have some special guests with us today because some of the Find Out guys apparently just decided not to show up, which I think they will. But we've got Chad and Mr. Global with us today. Hey, guys, how you doing?
Doing really well. Glad to be here. I'm in like storied company here. I've followed Mr. Global here for like, I don't know, 2.5 years.
He's
Like
the
his,
TikTok goat, right?
yeah, no, he's like an inspiration in here with all his takedowns and everything.
I was late because I was actually doing a takedown. Someone told me in my comment section that I needed to go talk to someone in the oil and gas industry.
Well, for people who are not familiar with you, how many years did you spend in the oil and gas world? 35?
34, yeah.
34? Oh, I was pretty close. Yeah, I always love when trolls come on TikTok and are like saying something like that, like you should talk to somebody in the oil and gas industry. You're like, really? Or like someone for me, they're like, you need to talk to somebody who's worked in politics, and I'm like, oh, please, like, please.
The best is when I get like, and it's not my expertise, but I can dabble in it. I'll go into like the energy industry every once in a while, and they'd be like, "Tag Mr. Global," and every once in a while he'll come on and be like, "Oh yeah, totally." They do that all the time to me, like, "Oh yeah, Mr. Global, you got this? Is this what you?"
If people tag me in your content and I don't retort, then you nailed it. Like, and even if you missed it, like if you're a friendly person, I won't comment.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Yeah, I won't.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't like sniping content and stuff like that. So unless it's Chris, I'll do it all the time. No, I don't.
Well, Chris was supposed to join us tonight, but he has a sick baby. So, and apparently the sick baby doesn't want to go to sleep, which is for those of us with children, I would refer to as the nightmare scenario.
Oh boy.
So maybe we'll see him, maybe not, but that's okay. That's okay. So why don't you guys, like, if you guys don't mind, just a little intro for this crew of who you are, and I think they're going to be seeing a lot more of you as well. So
yeah, I'll defer to the goat over. I guess it's over here. I'm mirrored over here to Mr. Global. He can do the honors for us here.
Oh, we got people in the chat too, so I got to pull. Sorry, this is.
Oh yeah, cool.
Here we go. Oh, look at this. You're getting all kinds of praise, Mr. Global.
Thank you, Denise.
So why are people giving you praise, Mr. Global? Who are you?
I don't know. Depending on the application, depending on the social media app, I'm Mr. Global or Matt Randolph, depending on where you see me at. I think I have Mr. Global and everything, but I think I'm Matt Randolph on Substack. 34 years in the energy industry, globally recognized oil and gas expert, Forbes contributor, and social media person now. Basically, like, this is what I do. So yeah, that's me.
Yeah, and chat. Well, you're also being modded. How many followers do you have on TikTok there, Mr. Global? A million?
It's almost
close to 1 million on one account and 200-something thousand on the other.
Aspirational goals for
everybody's got to have a backup on TikTok.
You know what? I've never done it, but I part of me feels like maybe I'm failing at doing TikTok because I've never actually gotten banned for doing just normal stuff, right? Like they always do that to big accounts. It started to kind of tank right before I hit 100,000, and I was like, my like vainness was like killing me because I'm like, I just want one account one time in my life at 6 figures, and I'm literally at 97.6. And it has sat there for like 3 months, and I'm like, "What am I going to do?"
Same.
And
I'm in the same boat. I'm
okay.
I'm close to 200, and it's
you got me beat. So, Chad, tell everybody who you are.
Well, so for those of you, most of my followers are on TikTok, and I go by it's Chad Scott, but it's my tag is CP Scott 15. Basically, I grew up in the Army, and so I was a NATO exercise planner in Europe. I did a lot of I wasn't in Brussels. I actually was in the field training everyone from NATO countries such as France, Britain, etc., all the way to NATO partnership nations, including Ukraine. And I was a logistics guy, but I worked in an artillery unit when I was there. I've been all over the world. I was an advisor for the UN to South Korea when they were worried about a refugee crisis coming across the border when their leader died over there. So I'm one of the rare people, Americans, that actually has been to North Korea. I was able to go cross over and do some of their stuff there and help plan because there was a real worry from China. But basically all my expertise is in the foreign policy. That's where my education is, as well as warfare and geostrategy. So
how many?
Yeah, good mix with Matt here for sure.
How many Americans do you think have been to North Korea since essentially the armistice in the 50s? I'm curious. Do we know? I mean, public, not the secret stuff, but like.
Well, it's funny because you can actually take a tour. You can take a tour into North Korea technically. So like, if you go to South Korea, they have these buildings where they cross the border, and so what ends up happening is you open the South Korean side opens the door, you go in, the North Koreans close their side and exit, and you can actually walk into the North Korean side. So technically any American can go into North Korea, but you'll only go maybe 20 feet. Now, as far as going in to conduct official business, I wasn't allowed to even talk about this until I left Hawaii. So I think it's got to be probably maybe 100. And I'll be honest, I don't know how many other missions like mine. It's not like we all share that information. So it could have been, I'd say probably around 100 officially. Unofficially, I would say there's probably a bunch. I mean, especially if you're counting like Dennis Rodman and stuff who went over there and things.
Oh, right. So, didn't he go play basketball or something? Is that what he did?
Yeah, he's like a huge like Kim regime fan. So
so weird. So weird.
Yeah.
Well, one of the Find Out guys has decided to
join. Sorry. My better half asked if I would stop and pick up lettuce for her, and she's putting up with me doing this bullshit on a Wednesday night. So I said, absolutely, I will.
Good. It's all good. You got to say yes. Yeah. You know? And, you're a nice guy. You're showing positive masculinity, helping out your significant other. We're doing the whole job here.
Yeah.
So, I do
what
have
did I miss?
Well, you missed the fact that Chad is basically one of 100 Americans that we know about that has been to North Korea since the North Korean War, other than the tour.
Crazy.
The tour.
Yep. And that's pretty much it. And then all these Mr. Global fans over here.
He's got a Paul beat.
Oh, really?
So I'm going to put Mr. Global on the spot because now he's got to live up to this, all this adulation that he's getting from these comments. So today it came out that Donald Trump has been going to U.S. oil companies, asking them if they will return to Venezuela if they are allowed. And apparently they have all said collectively, hell no. So my question to you is why?
So that's sudden because I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, it was this afternoon. I don't know if I read it in Playbook or where I saw this, but
so why wouldn't they want to go? It is the most difficult oil to develop and extract. It's the cheapest. It holds the least value. It is not, and I'm just off the top of my head because I didn't know that he had asked these oil companies to do this. From an investment standpoint, it's a horrible return on your investment.
Oh, really?
It's not great. It's not good stuff. And a lot of them are heavily invested in Canada, which has a similar grade of oil, but Venezuela is actually worse. And
is this tar sands or is it something else? I'm trying to pretend like I know what I'm talking about here.
I don't know if I would call it tar sands. It's actually worse. It's actually worse than tar sands. The thing is, it's so corrosive. The oil is so corrosive in Venezuela that it destroys everything over time.
Really?
And for them to go back down there and start up operations to bring Venezuela back to 2 million barrels a day, I believe was their highest production ever. It would cost tens of billions of dollars just in infrastructure.
Billions?
They would have billions. Yeah. This is oil. We don't talk in millions.
See, I don't know. I'm just
There's
a,
no millions in oil.
political hack. I got the top lines. That's all I know. So
It's just I mean, I honestly I could see someone going to Anwar before I could see him going to Venezuela, and I'm like, nobody's going to Anwar.
which Trump talks about too, right? Like going into Anna, which for those of you who don't know, this one I do know because of my time at Interior. It's the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, which I believe both Obama and Biden said no, off limits. And then Trump in between and then back again is saying yes. But it's very remote, right? That's also an expensive place to drill, right? Am I
Anwar?
right? Yeah.
Oh,
See, I'm
we've
stretching
only
how
ever-
much I know.
We've only ever drilled one well there in history.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, it would be expensive to go do it, is what I'm saying.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
minimum $10 billion just to start.
Well, now you have piqued my interest because I did not know that there were different qualities of oil across the world. This shows you again what I know. So now I have to ask, if Venezuela is one of the worst, who's the best?
To produce oil?
You said their oil was bad. So who has the good oil?
Oh, the best quality oil?
Yeah.
The United States.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
why is
hands
that?
down.
Why is that?
So we produce what's called light sweet crude. Have you heard that?
I have heard.
Yeah.
Sweet fruit.
And-
Yep. Mhm.
And contrary to what you may have been told, we can refine it. It's actually the easiest oil in the world to refine because it's the most pure and you get the most product out of it. So a barrel of light sweet crude will give you more gas, more diesel, more jet fuel, more of everything than a barrel of heavy sour crude.
And
It's-
a barrel
it's-
of heavy sour crude is Venezuelan, for example.
Oh yeah, for sure. The heaviest.
Yes. And
And sour.
And so what does heavy mean in that? Like, is it a
The
content?
viscosity of it, the density of it, yeah,
Sure, sure.
the weight of it.
Yeah.
So what is the sweet?
So it's
part
physically
then?
heavy.
Sweet is the sulfur content. So
Oh.
sour, if it's sour, it's very high in sulfur, which if you've ever smelled sulfur, it smells like rotten eggs.
Yes,
Right.
I have smelled that.
So back in the old days, they just called it sour because it smelled bad,
Got it.
and sweet because it really didn't have a smell.
Right.
That's really the only difference.
Well, by the way, there is someone in the comments that does know what they're talking about. I don't know if you see them. The Stella Blue 123.
Oh shit. Trump's getting going.
Oh, see, he's just gonna talk bullshit about affordability, right? That there's no affordability
That's what they
crisis,
said.
Most likely.
and that
But he likes to rant. He'll go.
I can
off
put
on
him up
rant.
if you want.
I heard
Wait,
he
you
was
do
going
know how to do that?
Yeah, I heard
Let's
he was
just-
going up at like, yeah.
Let's just see
Declare
if it's
war.
okay. If it's too loud or whatever, no. But like, if you want to put it on here,
Yeah,
we
just
can
a second.
react to it.
I will
While you're
say
doing,
one-
yeah, go ahead, Chad. Go ahead.
Well, I think a lot of it also has to do with the geopolitical problems of Venezuela. U.S. oil companies will just avoid them mainly because the risks outweigh the rewards there.
Right.
They have a history of, under both Maduro and Hugo Chavez, they've nationalized
Murders.
American companies.
More than
Yeah.
50% of
Oh.
whom killed
Oh, yeah,
more
here we
than
go.
one person.
No, that's cool. We can.
This is what the Biden administration
Can you hear
was
it?
allowed to
Yes, we
happen to our
can.
country,
He's not going to be able to talk for very long
and
because
it
he's going to
can
fall
never be
asleep. So
allowed
this
to
should be
happen
fast, right?
again.
Did y'all see
We
the
had men playing in
plaques that
women's
he put
sports,
under all the presidents
transgender
today?
for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? I heard
Climate
someone talk about that.
record.
What was
Crap.
basically talking bad about all the other
He
presidents.
said that
put plaques under their picture.
Obama was the most divisive of all time and that Biden was the worst of all time. That's what the plaques say.
Of the plaques, I think the worst though is when he went under Reagan and said Reagan loved Trump. Like,
Which is not true.
and it was just like, I don't know.
Well, first of all, I think I think that with Nancy Reagan or somebody confirmed that Reagan did meet Trump, but didn't like. But no one in the '80s liked Donald Trump. Like,
No one
this is
liked
the
him.
thing, right? Like, no one liked him until, no one really likes him now, but like until 2016. Like I live in New York City. Like, the stories you hear about him screwing people, like everyone hated him. He used to call like the Post and the Daily News with fake voices to talk about
Really?
Trump, but it was Trump. Yeah, and they ate it up. That's how he got big. Was he was a tabloid king, and then he like cheated on all his wives, so that was big headlines. And he's a marketer. That's all he is. But
But yeah, back to the. I don't know if we're going to talk the Trump thing. That's cool. We can definitely do that.
no, go ahead with what you were saying before. Yeah.
But I just because of their previous nationalization situation, and I think more of this stuff with the oil in Venezuela is one, regime change. I don't know
Right.
why.
Yeah, why are we doing that?
Because, well, for the biggest reason is oil is the biggest reason. And the funny thing is unlike when it's like they're reusing the Cheney, Rumsfeld Bush playbook from 2003, where they're like weapons of mass destruction. But now instead of they're actually, at one time, yes, Saddam Hussein did have chemical weapons, not at the time we were looking to go to war against them. But now we're just declaring drugs as weapons of mass destruction, as a Trojan horse. And I think it's to get his buddies paid. I think Trump wants to get some of his oil company buddies paid. And he also wants a feather in his cap as a wartime president.
Right.
And then also it's the similar thing as the Peace Prize. If he can't get the Peace Prize, might as well win some wars to have that legacy. And a lot of
some made up wars. Yeah.
Yeah, and so a lot of it is these guys will a lot of the investment group lost money in Russia. When those sanctions hit Russia, a lot of investments went away pretty quickly across the board, and so now we're seeing them try to find a way to make up investments potentially in other countries such as Venezuela. And because Russia is a non-starter now, I mean, with the back and forth there, Venezuela becomes the easy target, and so we can plop our massive navy off the coast, and he could say we've surrounded them. And I'm like, they're land on three sides, but okay. And so and that's what it is. I think it's not fentanyl. Fentanyl doesn't come from Venezuela.
No, it's Mexico, right?
It comes from Mexico, and the ingredients
and
come
also
from China.
right?
And we won't dare blockade or conduct a naval siege of China and Mexico. It's just not going to happen. And so, yeah, we just see this. It's just a pressure campaign for regime change to get a new president into Venezuela so that his buddies have more access to Venezuelan oil. And Matt's probably way more expertise than I am in this, but that's kind of what I'm reading from the geopolitical side. There's no reason to go to war with Venezuela. It's a pressure campaign, but Trump is so much of a loose cannon that he just might do it in the same vein that a Putin kind of did it when he was not smart about it going into Ukraine.
Right.
So I would like to point out that despite what Chad said, we did recently storm and take over a Mexican beach because we thought it was ours.
It was the wrong one, right? Yeah.
Wait, what was this?
That was like a week ago or so.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Wait, what did we do?
American troops landed on a Mexican beach because we thought it was ours.
And we put a sign or a flag or something up, or
a sign, I think.
Yeah.
Like off of like where? Texas or California? Where did this happen?
I don't know.
God.
It's a Mexican beach. The Mexicans showed up and said, "What are you doing on our beach?" And they left. I mean, I don't
like the federales or whatever it is. They were
probably showed up and shared some beers. That's how the Mexicans are. They'll just be like,
"Hola,
welcome party, let's go."
Oh my God! Everything.
I wonder if they had a Mexican standoff. You think they had a Mexican standoff on the Mexican beach?
Oh God! Oh my God!
It's just indicative of the Hegseth, and I refuse to call it the Department of War. That is a ridiculous name.
So stupid.
So it's just,
did I hear that actually changing the name, which means buildings and stationery and like contracts and was like upwards to like $1 billion just to change the name, something like that.
Yeah, it was a huge amount of money, and also it's not official. Like the minute the next administration comes in, it requires Congress to change. Right. So they haven't done it. It's just some executive order that they're all trying to
agreeing to go along with,
and get everyone to go along with it. And so what happens is because that's your boss, you go along with your boss at this point.
Right.
They're all selling the same lie within the Defense Department, but it's the minute the next administration comes in, ostensibly, hopefully, a switch back to a more moderate or even a left-leaning administration, they're going to be like, no, just let's call it the Department of Defense. And unfortunately, we're going to have to go back and rechange everything. But officially, it's still the Department of Defense. There's no, just like, I mean, it's kind of on the same vein of the Gulf of America, just nonsense like that. So.
Well, but like, I don't understand. I mean, everything is so stupid. It's like, there's not really, but he said he was the No New Wars president and is the president of peace. yet he changes the name of the Defense Department to the Department of War, which I believe, Chad, correct me if I'm wrong, we changed it, like it was originally the Department of War, then we changed it to Defense because the Department of War is a very aggressive term rather than like we are building this to defend ourselves rather than going out and like starting war.
We're trying to build what the United States always has done until recently was try to build coalitions and broad alliances. And it was harder to do that when you're at the time when we had better relations with Russia, or at the time when we were trying to rebuild a broken Germany or Japan. It was hard to do that when you're like, oh, this is the Department of War. No,
Right.
we are now here to defend values, defend our like ways of life and things like that. Now, granted, we've not always held those values. I mean, we've done some pretty terrible things throughout the decades, but the fact is, changing it to the Department of War, and I know it's just a word, but words have meaning and they matter.
Yeah.
And so when we change it to the Department of War back to it, or when the Trump administration tried, it's signaling that that's what we're leaning forward into. We're telling not our enemies, it's not showing strength, it's telling our allies we're wanting to go to war. And because you rely on us, we're going to have somewhat of an expectation you join us. And I don't like that notion of this kind of aggressive rhetoric when we don't need to. It's always been the kind of the Roosevelt walk softly, carry a big stick. Yeah, we can kind of beat your ass all over the globe if we want to, but that's not our intent. And that's what I'm hoping in our leadership. We don't have that right now, obviously, but that's what I've always thought the leadership should aspire to, is be the good steward for the world as the most powerful nation in the history of the world, and then do it in a way that if we do need to flex, we can. Yeah, but we don't need to flex with nonsense titles and like it's all the. I mean, I feel like Trump would love to just be called Lord of this and Lord of that and like Duke of, and that's what we're not in the United States. And so
he definitely would want, like he wants to be a king.
Yeah,
I mean, there is a reason why those protests were called the No Kings. I mean, that is what he's clearly wants. He loves dictators. I mean, I guess he was technically in North Korea, right? He stepped over the line there and shook Kim Il Jong's hand, and then he saluted the North Korean military officers, which was a great move in his first term. But yeah, I'm not really surprised about it at all. This is just what he is like. So, well, you guys both live in redder places than I do. I'm not going to say where, but you are redder places. Are you like, because his numbers are now, yours is pretty obvious, but you know, can you like, his numbers are now in the 30s, upper 30s. Are you guys, because I live in Brooklyn, so nobody likes Donald Trump unless you go to Staten Island, but like, you know, or maybe Bay Ridge a little bit, but are you guys hearing like any decline in support in your areas at all? Because like, I don't know anybody other than basically the cult crew that would actually say that he's doing a good job now. I mean,
I wanted to ask Matt this, because is he seeing this because gas prices are down? Because I saw your post about how oil prices have crashed and now people are like cheering it. So I was going to get his opinion on this, the correlation between the oil prices and why that's happening, but also is he seeing in his neck of the woods, the oil world neck of the woods, support, or are people getting mad at Trump because prices are crashing?
Yeah. So I live in the most pro-Trump state.
I don't envy you.
And people, you know, were distancing themselves from Trump before the oil prices did what they did. This is oil country where I live, right? So they're not happy about that. But it wasn't that caused it. It was, you know, and the best way I get a pulse on what's happening around here is to get on my Facebook page, my personal one, and just scroll. Yeah, because it used to be every post was Trump with big muscles standing on a tank. You don't see, you don't see a post about Donald Trump anymore. And if you do see one, it's something really bad. So it's gone silent. I've done some work with Will Westmoreland. He's out of Missouri, and both of us have seen I've done a couple of those little road trips with him where we go talk to people. Both of us has seen quite a, I wouldn't say it would be enough for him to lose Oklahoma where I live, but he has
Right.
certainly lost a ton of support. I'm sure he would still win it again, but by a much, much smaller margin. So yeah, it's happening here as well.
Yeah,
I
in
don't see
Idaho,
disavowal, but I see people who shut the fuck up about it.
yeah,
That's
Yeah.
what I've seen. In
the flags have
fucking
come
Iowa.
down. The
Yeah.
bumper stickers are gone.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
was everywhere in Idaho. Everywhere was
Right.
Trump this, Trump that flag, and it's gone. It's dead silence. If there is support, it's quiet because it's embarrassment is what it is. And so
Yeah.
I mean, you can't avoid the obvious things that he does. The Epstein
Fucking
thing
should be
aside,
embarrassed.
and you should everything else policy wise, like there's a reason people are throwing rocks at ICE vehicles, and it's not just random people, it's everyone. And there's reason that even in Boise, which ostensibly is a bluer city in the
Right.
state of Idaho, but it's not Portland, it's not Seattle, it's not controlling the state. It's there's just definitely, if there is support, it's quiet support in these
Yeah.
states. It's not where you do see it is on social media for me, in the standard like Twitter sphere type, whatever, X, whatever you want to call it. But I'm starting to see this trend where you see these overtly AI bot posts, and then AI bot posts comment underneath it, and it's just like they don't even speak like a human being.
Right.
And so what you do is you find, and one of the greatest things I can't stand Elon Musk, but one of the greatest things Twitter did was expose all of those people,
All those fuckers.
Yeah.
locations. And
So many of them.
I know, it's so wild. And it's like from Africa, Asia, Eastern Europe, which they count as Russia because that's where Moscow and stuff is. But yeah, that's where it's the loudest. But within the communities, that's all gone. Even the local politicians who were staunch MAGA, hammering that like at our county level, they're more quiet about it. They're still like kind of that Republican, and our governor will kind of repost a MAGA thing every once in a while, but it's not as overt as it was. And I think that's going to be something that hurts. We're going to see it reflected in the midterms. I do think like even Polymarket's showing the midterms are going to swing away from the Republican Party. So,
I mean, the way that now you're speaking thing, something I could talk about, but I mean, the special elections, all of the elections since November 24 have been devastating for Republicans. I mean, all of the specials have swung big. Sometimes where they even win, they've lost like 12, 13 points. The election night in November of this year, Mikey Sherrill winning with 13 points, is the first time that 3 consecutive Democrats have stayed in power in the governor's office in New Jersey. Like there's sneaky conservative parts of the state. Phil Murphy almost lost last time. She won by 13. Spanberger, I mean, a lady running against her was a crazy person and was just trying to tell everybody that like Abigail Spanberger was going to like turn all your kids trans, which people were like, no, that's no.
Turning the frogs gay.
Yeah, you like the critical race theory thing worked 4 years ago, but the trans thing doesn't land the same way. And like, but even a Tennessee special where the Trump won that district by 22, 24 points, the candidate, Matt, whatever his name is, only won by 9, which it was a 13-point swing. Like 13-point swing means 50 seats. That's the thing. And including potentially the Tulsa district in Oklahoma, which has had a Democrat, I think it was one term in the last like 10 or 15 years, the woman Horn, I think her last name was, won one term. It might have been in the 18 wipeout for Trump, maybe, or I can't remember when it was. But, if you have 12, 13 points, that is a 40 to 50 seat swing, which would mean Democrats would have potentially a 35 to 40 seat majority. Like you just don't see that anymore. But essentially everything is bad, right? Like everything. And it's all him doing it, right?
We say that, but I want to point out this comment, I don't know if it's MS Monkey or Ms. Monkey, Like we can't just sit
Oh yeah.
on our laurels and assume that Trump's terribleness is going to lose him elections. And I think that that was a big problem that former Republican in a Republican state that we see the Democrat Party is going, well, Trump is so bad, people will obviously vote. But we need to, on our side of the aisle here, where we're leaning more Democrat and all us bearded bald guys that were in the military need to come out and say, no, we have to keep working to not allow this to happen, because he's still going to have a powerful political action committee arm. He's still going to have a lot of his, what I would call and I hate, it's kind of a broad hand wave, but elitist friends are going to try to keep him out from being a lame duck. And if we just sit on our laurels of Trump terribleness, I think we still have a good outcome, but it's not the best outcome.
You have to attract people. That's the only way you get 2 in a row.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You have to attract them and follow through. That's how you get 2 in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, and that's, I mean, and I don't know if you, Matt, you're in the lobbyist world in the oil and gas, if you know anything, I mean, with regard to that, because I can tell you that there are still pockets within some powerful agencies, defense being one, that still have some Trump support, even though the majority have started leaving that behind. So yeah, I just don't want to sit on our laurels, essentially.
No, that's 100% right. I mean, yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I was kind of hoping Democrats would be quiet, honestly, or find new people to speak for them. I've been harping on
there you go. Yeah.
Well,
Democratic messaging forever, and Democratic messaging drives me crazy because I always see these wins that are right there, but it's like they ignore them, and it drives me nuts. So, but I don't want to be negative towards them, but that's just how I feel. Their messaging is so bad. Like maybe this is a time to shut up. Like,
well, do I have a segue? Do I have a segue?
School us, mighty leader of the parties.
Yes, but that's a perfect segue into what we all are building with Find Out Media and the Find Out podcast, which obviously is Luke and I and 3 other guys. We talked to Governor Janet Mills from Maine today. But I think this is a good moment, and I got approval to talk about this, so nobody get nervous. Chad and Mr. Global, what are you doing with us?
I'll let Matt tell, unless you want me. It's up to you.
did we settle on the title?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it was. I thought it was. Wasn't
Did we?
It's American Power. I thought that's what it was.
Yeah, new podcast. Me and Chad here. It's going to be starting up soon. We're going to be talking how the way I envision it is how oil and gas and energy and geopolitics intersect. A great example of that was earlier when I talked about how oil companies don't want to go to Venezuela, and Chad came in and talked about the geopolitical risks of it, which I know a little bit of that, but Chad's like the Mr. Global of that, right? And so I think it's going to be great. I'm pretty excited. Honestly, the thing I'm most excited about is some of the guests we might get on, because I'm going to ask them, like, what were you thinking when you said this? Like,
Yeah.
I think we need to have a real honest conversation. And, Republicans have managed to sort of steal this macho image of, this alpha male, all this BS. It's bullshit. The whole thing is bullshit. And so I'm thinking that me and Chad can make some progress towards that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be super informative is what it is.
Yeah.
What I see in a lot of the almost what I would call the right-leaning podcasts is it's a lot of hyperbole and a lot of chest beating and, like you said, macho-ness that feels like you're learning something, but you're really not. It's just an echo chamber. And a prime example here is both you and I, we aren't originally Democrats. We originate back and forth, moderate. There's some things that I lean right on, some things that I lean left on. It's going to be more fact-based, which is what we see out of your Mr. Global or my TikToks and things like that. And it's going to be a full-on podcast, and it's super exciting because thankfully Matt and I aren't just trying to launch this ourselves. We have the backing of what's becoming kind of a powerhouse in this Find Out Media. I mean, you guys are speaking to like Gavin Newsom and stuff like that. It's really wild. I mean, and Tim, you have huge connections with Obama administration, and we have some just stellar people running this between the whole crew with Luke and Chris and everything. And I think the ability to tie into your base, your infrastructure, and just be able to focus on the messaging so that me and Matt can just sit here and discuss what's going on in the world, why it matters,
Yep.
not have to worry about editing because I put a camera in my face and put it on TikTok and no graphics. So I think it's gonna be
same,
really
dude.
exciting, and and having you guys' backing and being able to just being above the kind of the think tank level, being more
Mhm.
having that social media candor that we have, but also
Mhm.
if we need to, having the knowledge base of a think tank
Right.
to answer those questions and things. So it's going to be super, super exciting.
We are super excited, and we've talked about it for a long time, and that like when we launched the podcast in March, I think, Luke, somewhere March, February,
March, like
something
right at
that.
the beginning of March.
And it kind of took off. I think I've joked, like we were like, oh my God, I think we started a company. And then it was like sort of developed from there. And it was like, no, we can create a whole series of content that it's for everybody. But a lot of this is to show men that there is space on this side. And I'm not going to say liberal, progressive, leftist, whatever, just not MAGA. And that, the pro-democracy side, I would say, and like bringing authentic voices who have already also, because you guys, we were joking about it earlier, but like, Mr. Global, you've got almost 1 million, and Chad, you've almost got 250,000, like people that have found a niche on a topic. Now we can help them like dive into that more in more detail so that people really understand these topics and, can make better informed decisions at the ballot. The stuff like this. I worked at the Interior Department. I thought I knew about oil and gas. I don't know shit. Like you know it, and you also aren't doing it. And this isn't one of the reasons why we were interested too. You're not doing it to spin. Like you're just, it's the facts. And same with you, Chad. Like we're not looking, like we like the right-wing model from the like how they built an audience. We don't like the words that they say, because in most cases they're either lying or they're being sexist or racist as a way to drive people. We want to drive people with the truth. We want people that are pro-democracy. Like, I don't give a shit if like one of you guys supports a candidate that I don't care. Our goal here is to get a better informed public so that we actually have better results at the ballot box. And you guys are the first, but we have also other shows that are coming, and some of them are political and some of them are not. And I think that's also exciting too. And then as a network grows, you guys come on our show, we go and there's all this cross promotion and all of these different things. And then all of a sudden Find Out Media becomes a center. Like if a reporter calls and said, I need an oil and gas expert, Mr. Global, if I need a foreign policy expert, Chad, like, we just boom, boom, boom. And all of a sudden, it starts to be a much bigger and much more powerful thing. So we are super pumped. I think we're talking about launching in February. What are we?
You'd have to tell us. You guys have to do the media build out and everything.
Yeah.
So
That's true. That's true. We do have some work to do, and we are, because we also have to announce the Find Out Media as a general thing, and I can't say too much about the details, but some funding and some we are signed to it. I can say this part because we announced it. We signed to William Morris Endeavor, the largest talent agency in the world, is representing Find Out, which is super exciting. Both from bringing guests, bringing ads, live shows, which we're talking about doing. Like there's all kinds of stuff. And so we are just super pumped, and we're super glad that you guys were at the top of the list. And we were like, we really should do this. Also, Democrats are just bad at the energy stuff in general. Like we just don't know it
Terrible.
very well.
Terrible.
Like, we all just say renewable energy.
Not
like
to
it's
lie,
just
you guys are kind
magical.
of bad at the the war
Yeah,
stuff.
we're not very
too.
good at the war stuff either. No.
Pretty just
uh,
bad.
For-
at a
I mean,
lot
that's
of
a
things.
good thing, the problem to have. I mean, I'm not saying like,
I mean,
oh, get better at war.
There
but
is a reason. There is a reason this company exists now. You know,
Yeah.
you talk about like, I mean, I see all the people commenting too about Democrats are bad at messaging. It's true, and like what we are trying to do in our corner of it is to show a better way. We are not in, you know, we are not a DNC operation. We are specifically, none of us live in DC. Like we're specifically outside of it so that we can support it when we agree with it, but we can also critique it when we don't. Like we've been critical of Chuck Schumer, Luke in particular.
I fucking hate Chuck Schumer.
There you go. I
Me
don't go
too,
that
man.
far, but I understand the frustration.
I hammered Biden over Ukraine quite a bit.
Yeah,
People forget that. Like I'm being called a shill constantly for hammering Trump, and I'm like, yo, I hammered Biden too. We were weak
Yeah.
against on that front, in my opinion, as well. So, but yeah, no,
Dude,
I won't miss words on either side.
Like,
I know Mr.
I-
Global won't. I've watched his stuff. He crushes souls.
There's not a time capsule big enough. Like if I wrote every time I was canceled by Democrats on a post-it and put it in a time capsule, I don't have one big enough to bury in my yard. Like I have a dump truck full of cancellations from Democrats from me talking about Joe Biden. And now all the feedback I get is you're too political, and that's from all of the conservatives that loved me when Biden was in office, and now they
Right.
hate me because now I'm talking about their guy, right? And they
Mhm.
hate that. But that's
Right.
I if you don't have that, if you don't have that integrity, if you don't have that authenticity, what do you have? You
Right.
have what every
Jack
other
shit.
person on the internet has. You have nothing unique to offer.
right. I mean, I think
So-
that is part of the reason like Find Out started so well was that it was just 5 dudes that were like, fuck this bullshit. Like
Yeah.
this sucks. And we also launched at a good time because it was right when Trump was doing the like, I'm not spending any money. Remember when he did that? He's like, the government's not spending money for like a week. And then everybody went, are you trying to send us into a depression? So I think we launched at the right time. But also we're just like 5 random dudes that met each other on TikTok. And you know, I'm the only one that has a political background. I mean, Luke, you know, just graduated from college, and you know, just started TikTok. What was it November of last year?
November last year.
So it's literally been 13 months now, and you're at what now? 9 something?
No, I'm at like 890. I'm
890.
stuck.
Wild, man.
You
You
know,
busting my ass over here, and I got like 200.
Chad, you need to go into your truck, and you need to get really angry, but you also have to be very, very quick, and you also
Yeah,
have to
my
come up with
videos
some
are
original
long.
lines. I can't do it. No. I mean, I do hot takes. That's what I do. Like I did, like I was, people were losing their minds yesterday about the Susie Wiles Vanity Fair article, which was crazy. If anyone hasn't read it, my God, go read it. It is, and the
Mhm.
photos also that go along with it.
Those are
also
kind
not-
of diabolical photos. Like,
Well, the close-up of Caroline
Yeah,
Levitt
they
with the-
did.
with
They
the
did
like
Caroline Levitt dirty
lip
with
stuff.
the-
Like, oh yeah, well, all the photos you were dirt. Like someone showed. I saw this image of. I think it was just Susie against a fireplace, but they were like the photographer clearly didn't care because like on once there's 2 lamps on this fireplace, and one is set like it should be, and the other one's like tilted up. So like they weren't even like making sure the backdrop looked good or whatever. They were just like, go stand over there and we're gonna take a shitty photo of you and then we're gonna like roast you. But what I said, and I'm curious what people think, everyone was like, why is she torpedoing stuff? Why is she trying to save her? I actually think that she did that as a power move because she lets Donald Trump do whatever the hell he wants. So he loves her, right? And she makes sure his crazy shit gets done. First term, you know, there's Reince Priebus, who's like the Mr. Jello himself, sort of like, well, you can't, you know, blah, 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 which was helpful for us. But like she's getting his shit done. So her going out there and like lighting up the rest of them, he doesn't give a shit that she did that. And now she's put them all on notice that like, I'm in charge. Don't try to go around me. I'm in charge. Because look, I'm still here. And Trump didn't say a goddamn thing about that interview because he knows that it's a distraction from the affordability and all this shit.
Mhm.
And like, I'm in charge, not you, Marco Rubio, not you, Caddy. What's that stupid cat? Dan Scavino, or like any of those other losers. Like, she's like, I guess I'm the queen of the shit hill, basically. And that actually did pretty well because most people are like, She's doing it on her way out. She's trying to protect herself. I don't think so. I think she did that solely to be like, I'm the boss, motherfuckers, not you. I don't know what everyone else thinks about that. But
I would agree.
I can tell you, what are they going to say? The media finally told the truth about something,
right?
I mean, her doing that.
Problem.
If the only thing the administration says is fake news, and she goes to the media and says all this, which, by the way, they're saying we have it all on tape. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Like, they recorded all of it.
Right.
What are they going to say? The news isn't fake anymore. Like,
right.
Of course they're going to say fake news, and she didn't say that. Like,
Well,
she
shit, in
played
your comments, they're
into.
calling it AI. I hate
I
that
felt
shit.
like she was playing into what they already do. Does that make sense, Tim? I'm not a politics guy, but I felt like she was taking advantage of what they already do.
Oh, that's
to where
100%.
they couldn't. Yeah, they couldn't counteract it.
No, I that is exactly right. She is not a stupid person. He has hired a lot of stupid people. She is not one of them. I also didn't know that her dad was Pat Summerall.
Yeah,
the
weird.
NFL player and the horrible play-by-play. I did not like Summerall and John Madden, but I'm also a Patriots fan. And their first Super Bowl, Madden's like, they need to take a knee. They shouldn't drive down the field. And I was like, are you fucking crazy? And then march down the field. Dynasty begins. Anyways, okay, I'll stop talking about that because also our dynasty.
Tim, I think that was John Madden.
No. It was Madden that said that, but Summerall was his sidekick in that. So like, I lump them both together. They both suck. But,
like the one sports thing I know you brought up. Like.
I wasn't into it. And the Madden, like, I got to take a bus. I can't fly. I was just like, this is like, you're just an announcer. Like, stop.
I remember watching that game, and as the Patriots drove down the field, like, they got quieter. Because, at the beginning, they were like, they shouldn't do that. This is crazy. Like, what are they thinking? And then they get to like 50-yard line, and they're like, wait a minute. they might be onto something here. And then at the end, they're like, oh my God,
I know. And then it's like, wow, what a genius drive. I'm like, well, asshole. Like, if you listen to you, they go to overtime, and who the hell knows what happens with a coin flip? Like,
play to win. Play to win.
You know what's crazy? I don't think one of our panelists was born when that happened.
Chad?
It wasn't
when
me.
The Patriots won the Super Bowl in 2003.
Was it? Yeah, I'd have been alive. Wait, no, was that February of 2003?
Yeah, but was it February of 04 though? Does it?
It would have been
because do they call it the? Because
it's the 03 championship.
Oh, you were born.
It would have been in 04.
Do you call the
I'd be alive.
90s? Do you call like the 90s the 1900s?
No.
In the
In the
1900s.
90s.
Oh my God! Anybody said like, well, yeah, I was like, we were talking about 9/11 one day, and Luke was like,
Don't know what you're talking about. Matter of fact, I don't remember where I was on 9/11.
I mean, I think that's fair. That's very, very fair. Yeah, John Madden and his turkey legs with like the 9 million legs. Yeah, that whole thing was Also, I'm going to talk about one more football thing and we can stop. Why have we been subjected to Cowboys and Lions games on every Thanksgiving? Why is that? Like, why can't we have something else? Guys.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because
I'm like, ugh. When I was growing up,
because you don't want to watch football, you want to hang out with your family, so you don't put good football on the TV.
Wait,
so
really?
if you put bad football on the TV, it forces you to actually enjoy Thanksgiving. I mean, if you put the Chiefs on, everyone's watching. So,
well, I don't know about this week.
Not this week.
The old Patrick Mahomes, everyone's like, oh, the next Tom Brady. I'm like, well, we'll see. But actually, he tore his ACL in the same year that Brady in his career. That Brady tore his ACL.
And then Brady went on to win 5 Super Bowls.
Right, and played till he was like what, 45?
Yeah,
or something like that. I don't want to talk about the last 2 years. That didn't count. But
I want to ask Matt though. We were talking about like the politics side of this whole everything. Who are you looking at as a potential? Because you hit the nail on the head. The Democrats don't really have anything, and they don't have any good messaging. And Tim could probably pull a bunch of people out, but I want to get it from the oil and gas industry guy who at one time leans right and leans left, kind of like me. Who do you potentially see as that guy? Who's the next moderate unifier of a party in kind of a sense of an Obama or something like that can
Ooh, high bar.
unseat likely JD Vance, which shouldn't be hard theoretically, but or perhaps Rubio or something like that. So
Ooh.
I mean,
have no idea.
I can't think of anyone. That's why I'm asking. I
Yeah.
struggle because Obama came out of nowhere for the most part, for all of us, at least not in the Beltway knowledge. For us, he came out of nowhere.
For the most part, that's true.
But I feel like that's the next person. And I hear AOC quoted, but I don't know. I feel like it's going to have to be someone who's out of nowhere. Like Talrico, that dude out of Texas I like him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
Here's my problem with the guy out of Texas. He looks weak. He has a really small neck. I'm serious. Looks matter. Like
It
he
does.
I don't disagree.
Weirdly, height does too.
but I'm just kidding, honestly.
That's why I'm SOL as a politician, Chad.
I don't know much about the guy, but everyone I talk to about this, and I'm going to say I don't know much about the guy. Everyone I talk to about this says Andy Bashir, and I don't know anything about Andy Bashir.
Yeah.
But that's what other people tell me. Other than that, I don't really have a clue.
I think that is a perfectly good choice, except I will say that's the one team that has turned us down. Most people just, if they say no, they usually ignore. They actually said no. We're going to see next year. I bet they come on the show.
Yeah.
But
you got to get bigger, Tim. You got to get
I know.
bigger.
Well, that's, you got to help us get there, so we're going to do that. No pressure. But Andy Bashir has been a great governor. Has had no legislature to work with. And he's gotten stuff done. Now, he also was a benefit of his father, was also a popular governor of Kentucky as well. But, winning in a state that Mitch McConnell has represented for 17 trillion years is no small stakes. And, there's a reason why he was on the short list for VP. I think he's a formidable candidate because I think that he's actually a little more progressive than you would think for the governor of Kentucky. And I don't mean AOC progressive, but I just mean, and I think he's very viable. And I think what we're going to see is I keep using this number to just show how ridiculous 3,000 people are going to run for president on the Democratic side.
Mm-hmm.
They're all going to run.
Shoot, we got
but
back. She said
she's going to run again. Which
I can see Luke. He's just like, oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, I think that she was put in an unfair situation that was impossible. But she also ran once before, and that didn't go particularly well. And I think some of the things that she said were big mistakes. And I don't think it swung the election, but when she said I wouldn't do anything different than what Joe Biden did, I'm like, that's a loser. That guy's numbers are horrible. What are you doing? You got to protect yourself. And I also kind of come from the school that you get one shot. And that's obviously Nixon had 2 shots and Biden actually ran like 5 times. But generally speaking, I think you get one. Now she should run. I think she should run. But am I excited? No. But I don't know who I'm excited by right now. I think that Talarico I really like, but if he runs in that Senate race and he loses, if he loses the primary in the Senate, he's not going to be the president.
Yeah.
He's not going to be there's no way. There's just no way.
What about Shapiro carrying Pennsylvania maybe?
Kind of soured on him a little bit. I know people in Pennsylvania really like him. And he has a lot of Republican support, which is good. But I kind of want him really more out front, confronting Trump, and I really don't feel like he's been the guy. The one that if you had told me this a year ago, I would have said you'd had 25 beers before you said it. So just bear with me. Gavin Newsom has surprised me. He really has. I'm not saying that he should be the candidate, but of all of the people who have come out and tried to fight Trump, he's the only one that's really done it the right way, which is mockery. That doesn't mean he'd be a good president. That doesn't mean he would win a presidential, but he is stronger than I thought he would be. I mean, even on our show, which he came on, because we did the Yes on 50 live fundraiser for him and helped raise like $750,000 for that. So he came on, and like even when Luke joked and was like, "Why are you so shitty at Fortnite?" Which is basically what he basically said. Why was there no money in the budget for a Fortnite coach? Like he just handles these things so well,
Yeah.
and it's such a media environment. But again, that doesn't mean that he's the right person. But I don't know who I don't really have a lot of like, yes, absolutely, that person should do it.
My
I don't know.
concern with Newsom is I think people are exhausted from that Trump style. And
Yeah.
yes, he's doing it as an act. That's not necessarily who he really is, but I think he creates a path by basically bulldozing the MAGA path out of the way by being the left's Trump version with his rhetoric and his tweets and things. I don't think that gets him across the finish line. And the problem is I was just in San Francisco a couple days ago, and it was a beautiful city. I loved it. It was a lot, but people in my state, people I guarantee in Oklahoma, California is baggage.
Yeah.
And so I worry about that. I was thinking one of the ones I was thinking of, and he's kind of currently and he's not a front runner by any means. He's not even really in the discussion that I can see, but he's in the news, is Mark Kelly.
Yeah.
And maybe it's a military guy bias, but I think he at least is definitively in the running for Secretary of Defense in the future. Like, I think he is absolutely what would be needed to undo the mess that Hegseth created. And he's a fighter too. He fights from his foxhole, so to speak. He uses that kind of military. I have the chops. I've been to space. I've been to war. Like, how are you going to question me as a purple-haired liberal? You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I think that kind of, he may not be the primary on the ticket, but if whoever it is comes out and says, yeah, VP him or put him on defense, I think that's a multiplier.
I really like Mark Kelly, and I like him for a lot of reasons. One, I mean, he's an astronaut. That's just like the coolest shit ever. Fighter pilot, right? In the Navy, Air Force, Navy. And honestly has become more progressive over the years. But the thing that really, like, just from a personality perspective, was like how he handled the Gabby Giffords, his wife, shooting.
Yeah.
And he retired. He stuck with her. Like, imagine Donald Trump, what he would have done if he had a wife that had that happen. He would have been gone in 2 seconds. And he literally was like, I'm done. I'm taking care of my wife. And I think that Trump has brought a moral bankruptness to this country and sort of made it acceptable in some circles. And I think we need some of that back. Now, he's a little more moderate than I would generally go for, but I like how we responded to that horrible bullshit that Trump was like, he should be tried for treason and he should be, court-martialed and all that stupid shit because he said, don't follow illegal orders.
Yeah.
When he knew about the Venezuela, bombing, boat bombing. So he knew that there was bad shit going on. And everyone's like, why would he do that? It's like, this is why. So I mean, I'm going to support the Democrat no matter what. And I'm going to go to the mat for them. But he's VP, definitely, Secretary of Defense, definitely. But president, maybe too. I said the thing about Newsom because I underestimated him, but that doesn't necessarily mean that that's necessarily who I want.
I think Newsom definitely has a place as one of the top, probably 2 or 3 in the final running. My worry is the California baggage, which I think is misguided. I like California. I mean, it's not, and
Smart people do.
One of the reddest of red state. And I mean, I think I'm second only to Oklahoma where Matt's at. And I think but I worry that when I travel all over the country and the world, they're like, yeah, but California. And I'm like, well, have you actually been to California? It's not that bad. So, I mean,
it's also the 5th largest economy in the world.
I don't know.
Or 4th, 5th, 4th, if it was its own. Well, Luke, who do you like?
It's tough. They all have problems for me.
No, just kidding.
Who'd you say?
AOC.
Chuck Schumer.
Chuck Schumer.
I love AOC. If Bernie were 30 years younger, I would like Bernie.
Okay. But
AOC is my pick.
AOC is your pick.
Yep.
And she has a chance. I think she's actually realized she has a chance and is becoming a bit more moderate herself to try to position herself. But what does Matt think of AOC though? Because she's like Satan in Oklahoma. I can tell you she's Satan in Idaho for sure. So
I don't have a problem with AOC. I just don't think she can win.
Yeah.
I think the country's going to be starving for basically an independent who has either a D or an R next to their name, someone who dismisses the fringes of both party and is more of a common sense, like get it done. When you talk about energy, someone that's like, yeah, I support renewables, but we need oil and gas. Like when you talk about immigration, I believe in a strong border, but I don't believe in pulling people out of lines at school. Like there's sprinkles of both sides that would make a candidate that would just dominate, because I think what people are really sick of is all the attention and everything we hear tends to come from the people who are loudest on the fringes of each side. And we don't hear enough from people closer to the center, which is why I think our podcast is going to kill.
Yeah.
But I think that person, and that person could be Mark Kelly. I don't have a grasp of his policies as far as, but whoever that is that does that, I think can win. And unfortunately, your past matters.
Yep.
I think Gavin Newsom is a great candidate, but your past matters.
Yep.
AOC, your past matters, and they're going to hit her with green news scam shit 24 hours a day. You know what I mean? Like, so it's nothing against them, but it's who can really overcome and win. When you look at Trump has lost, I think his approval with independents is in the 20s or something.
Oh, it's awful.
Like,
it's awful.
Those are the people you got to go get. Your Democrats are already going to vote for you. Your Republicans are already going to vote for you. Got to go get the independents. And those are the people that are tired of all the bullshit, sort of the whole vision behind Find Out Media. We're tired of the bullshit,
Right.
That's who is going to win. That is who is going to win. And the far left, far right stuff is going to lose every time. I think. People are sick of it.
I'd push on that a little. I'd push on that. I think that there are just as many people who sat out because they weren't excited about the candidate in 24, and she was as close to moderate Dem as there gets. I mean, she is not a particularly progressive candidate, or was not anyway, especially not. Her primary campaign in 20 was a lot different than her presidential campaign in 24.
Right.
I mean, there were a fuckload of people who just didn't care, weren't excited to buy her, said, fine, I'm just going to sit it out because I don't really care either way. And it didn't necessarily come from a place of malice. It just came from a place of complete apathy.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this, Luke, because I think you're 1,000% correct. Do you think that was more Gaza, or do you think that was more Medicare backing off of Medicare for all? What do you think?
I think it's both. I think the loudest people were the Gaza people.
Right.
But there were a lot of people who were like, yeah, she's not trying to do healthcare for all. She's not trying to do, she backed off on her gun thing, which personally, I think there's steps to take before you go ban them all. But she backed off on those things. And whether or not you agree with them, if you say something and then you just quietly shimmy off back to the middle, the people who agree with those things aren't going to come out for you. And even the people who don't agree with you are going to notice it and go, yeah, she kind of shimmied away from it.
Well, let me ask you this, and I think leftists would get quite angry at what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it anyways, because it kind of merges both what Matt, you're saying, and Luke. So Joe Biden in 2020 was considered the moderate candidate, right? And he struggled in the beginning. He had that crazy weird bus thing and no one really showed up and it was like awkward, whatever. But then come South Carolina, he gained momentum and ended up being the nominee as the moderate. But I think it is impossible to suggest that any modern president has been more progressive than he was.
It's true.
How do we do, because he did, well, first of all, direct cash to people when they needed it most, very aggressive labor policies, the biggest climate bill we've ever had. But then he got hung on Gaza, right? And that was like a death knell to him. And he couldn't pivot. And I didn't agree with it. And I would say that Gaza is a genocide. You know, but like he couldn't. So could the person that I'm thinking of that could be this person again is Andy Bashir, that appeals to those moderates in the middle, but like just like his dad was very, very progressive on
I like him
healthcare,
but
right?
he has no name recognition, so he has a lot of fucking work to do,
Right. Which
Yeah.
is
if he
why
wants to do it.
which is why he should go on
Podcasts,
Podcast.
specifically the Find Out
American
podcast.
Power.
and American
Power.
both. Now it's got to be, you got to go on both. You got to go do.
Hell, you know how awesome it would be? I would love to get Mark Kelly on.
You got to do a Find Out
That is
Media.
like wheelhouse right there.
Yeah, the Find Out Media tour. You do us, then you go to American Power, then the rest of the other
there you
shows we'll
go.
talk about later. But yeah,
So
no,
Luke, real quick, can I say
Yeah.
something to Luke?
Sure.
I'm not disagreeing with you that AOC is moderate. She probably is. Like, I mean, what I'm saying is your history. You know, she introduced the Green New Deal legislation.
Sure.
And I don't know if that is a weight that she can overcome in the election. No matter what she is now, a lot of times, unfortunately, that doesn't matter in an election cycle. And the Green New Deal, which they call the Green New Scam, which half the country believes is actually in place right now, but never passed. You know, that's the
Right.
hurdles I'm talking about. I don't have a problem with her at all as a candidate. It's trying to find all of those barriers and hurdles that someone's going to have to cross to win.
Well, I think the biggest thing with those barriers and hurdles, which definitely exist, is you have to be able to effectively communicate why they're not barriers and hurdles,
right.
which is precisely why fucking septuagenarians need to stick it up their ass and get away. Because if you can't, if a reporter can come up to you and ask you a question and you sit there and you give your same campaign bullshit, you are not authentic and people smell it from a mile away.
Well, I think it's obvious, and this Dylan in the comments has said the same thing. Like, I don't think Joe Biden loses the election if he can effectively communicate all of the policy wins that he had, because he did. I would argue, and I was in the Obama administration, I would argue in his 4 years, he got more consequential stuff done than Barack Obama did, but he couldn't communicate it, right? He just can't. He just couldn't. He's too old. And like the stutter, you know, he's had a lifelong stutter. And like as he got older, it was harder to manage. And also, like, I mean, 80 is old in any instance, but like, you know, Luke, we talked to Janet Mills today, who is 77. And I think all of us would agree. First of all, I still think that's too old, but like, but she is not an old 77 like Biden was an old 80, right? Like it's a completely different thing. And I think it killed him because he couldn't. And then obviously the debate was just like the end. But
my concern
yeah.
is perception becomes reality. And I'm kind of in the same vein. I don't mind AOC. My problem is, and I went to her rally with Bernie. He came to Boise and had a massive turnout at the Ford Idaho Center, sold out the stadium. But she's attached to Bernie, and I don't think Bernie's electable. I think a lot of what Bernie has been saying for decades is coming to fruition as things that will have to happen. Single payer, universal, whatever you want to call it, healthcare, that's going to have to happen. It's going to, I mean, we are being pushed out of our jobs and things like that due to technology and things. And people will say, well, technology creates jobs. We're starting to see the bell curve shift now to where it's starting to not. And so things like that if that's the messaging, especially on the coattails of what we're about to see with the Affordable Care Act lapsing, that's where you can kind of get in. But the problem is the communist label is still effective for a lot of moderates in this country. So when you want to try to win a Georgia, or you want to try to win Ohio or something like that, that unfortunately continues to matter. And whether that reality, and like you said, she moved moderate, and I saw it too. I think she did as well. And she's become a bit more sane in the moderate world or palatable, I guess I'll say. But unfortunately, she's still going to be seen as a Bernie person. And as much as you like Bernie, the majority of the country he tried several times. I just don't think they're even now are ready for someone like that. And yeah, so
yeah, the interesting thing about Bernie, and like I was I'll fully admit I was a Hillary Biden. Well, I was actually a Hillary Elizabeth Warren Biden person, but I think that the big thing that he did was put Medicare for all on the map, right? And he showed that there was an interest, and it's great to hear, former Republicans like yourself saying like this needs to happen, because I agree. I mean, with these ACA tax credits expiring, people are seeing premiums going like up 100, 200, 300%. And what a lot of people don't know is like, they're like, oh, well, they're just kicking off poor people, which I mean, that's
It's
horrify
you.
people too.
It's going to
But
be
it's also
you.
you, because you're not spreading the costs around to as many people. If a few million people drop off the healthcare company's not just going to be like, oh, well, I'm just going to eat that loss. They're going to spread that risk and that dollars around to everybody else. So it doesn't actually matter. Same with, like, I mean, everything Trump has done has made prices go up. But like, I think it's like, I saw some people that were like, we used to pay for our small business $16,000 for our edge part of the coverage. Next year it's $32,000. I mean, for a small business, an additional $16,000 for literally nothing, right? The exact same thing. You're killing thousands of businesses. Most small businesses are like eking by as it is. You add an additional $16,000, like they're going to close, and then those people are out of work, and then they have to apply for SNAP benefits and all these other things that they also want to cut. Like, it is a spiral, and I think you guys are right. Like, and Bernie deserves a lot of credit for getting us there. I don't think a Democrat can win the nomination without supporting some version of universal healthcare, or at least like the path, right? At least the goddamn public option. Like, I don't even understand what the argument against it is. The government is going to set up a
We have a special guest.
We do? Oh, this is better than me talking about healthcare. There she is.
Say hi.
TikTok's
Oh,
new
man.
media star.
Yeah.
that's the podcast right there.
Oh yeah.
Actually, isn't that your best video you've done in like 2 months? Was
Actually, I had one that outperformed it recently.
you did?
But yeah.
Shut up and show the dog.
Yeah. No more rage. Just dogs.
Yeah.
So, but I think would we all, I guess the question is, and the one thing I'll say about AOC, which I really like, and she actually had, one thing that was fascinating to me is she did a video right after the election. There were a lot in her district in Queens. There were a not insignificant number of AOC Trump voters. That is interesting to me. And she talked about it on a live. And basically it was like, these are the people who think it all should be burnt down and built back up. And the question is, how do we actually capture that audience without actually having to completely torch everything? And I don't know the answer to that, but it was really interesting. I do think a House member going from House to president is a very big leap. But we also had a guy that was on The Apprentice and failed a casino being president. So I don't really know if that really fucking matters or not. But I don't know. But here's a question. Who would be your dream candidate, regardless of whether they could win or not? Do we have that? I actually don't even know if I have the answer to that myself.
Are we talking like
AOC again?
Are you talking potentially? Like, are we talking like, can we resurrect like Teddy Roosevelt here or something?
Sure. No, this is literally like, if you could dust this person off from history and
Do they have to be real?
Yes, it has
Damn
to
it.
be.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna pick like somebody from Lord of the Rings or something.
You're fucking right. I would. Aragorn would be a great president.
Is that Viggo Mortensen?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I can see that. I don't
Princess
know
Leia would be a great president.
what-
Padme Amidala would be a great president.
Yeah.
Unless I also, you can't get me into the sequels. Or
That's the
prequels. I saw.
I mean,
those
if
in
we're
the
going,
theater.
I guess, I guess realistic. I don't know. It's hard because I'm looking for that person now. I mean, in history, it's easy to list like a bunch of people that were, but I'm realistic.
Yeah, no obvious, no like Lincoln, Washington.
I mean, someone that could not. I'm looking at someone that could not only. I wouldn't want to say just come in and do the opposite of Trump. Like, that's what I kind of look for, but I don't want it to be that's the platform. I want sanity and a reason for what we're doing. and just if I was going to pick a fictional character, it would have probably been the dude. What's his name? He played from the Newsroom.
Jeff Bridges' character.
Yeah, Jeff Bridges. Yeah, I would say I've always thought that I liked him a lot in that, but that's kind of
Betty White. Someone said Betty White. Sorry,
Dolly Parton.
Yeah, I mean, and so it's just one of those where I don't know. Who is that type of person today that can't? I mean, and we have the elephant in the room is they have to be able to win. Like we can all say, yeah, Ted Lasso would be a great president. He ain't winning elections or something like that.
Yeah.
They got to have a dog in them a bit. And unfortunately, anyone running for president has to be a little bit of a narcissist. And that's something we just
have to be, right?
We have to admit that. So I think, I mean, yeah, Michelle Obama wouldn't be too bad. Yeah, I could give that one a go. But the problem is she said so many times that she doesn't want to do
interest. No interest. So, she barely didn't want her husband to run.
Yeah, and so that's what ends up happening is we're left with the best people that we want to run are always the people that don't want to run. And so what we're left with is, I don't know. I for a long time I was like Buttigieg was a big one for me. I liked him. There was, I've really taken a shine to Mark Kelly, like I said. Yeah. I don't know. I'm to the point where we need to win first. I'm sick of the moral high ground.
Yeah.
Where
I can't even. This is such a damnation of where we are. I can't even get you to name a fantasy candidate because you're. I just want to win.
Yeah. Jon Stewart would be good. I like Jon Stewart.
Yeah, my problem with the non-politicians, and it's the same. This is again the flack coming out, so you have to just deal with it. But it's the same thing as when people were like, "We just need an MBA president, a CEO."
I have an MBA.
My answer to that is we've had two. We've had two, George W. Bush and Donald Trump. How's that gone? And the answer is bad in both cases, because being a CEO of a company is all about extracting as many profits you can for your shareholders. And being president of the United States is the opposite. So why are we saying, I mean, there's leadership qualities, right? Like I understand some of this, but when I saw like Howard Schultz run, I was like, Jesus Christ, like what the hell? When he was like, I'm going to run as an independent, I'm like, you are a fucking idiot. Like, what are you doing? And then it flamed out because it was so dumb. And it was like the same with Michael Bloomberg, who I actually worked for when I was at Everytown. I was like, please don't run for president. Please don't run for president. He gets into one debate and Elizabeth Warren destroys him in 3 seconds and it's over. And he spent like $150 million. And like she walks in and she like looks at him and says like 10 seconds of words and it's over. And I'm like, no, and Chad, you're exactly right. They have to be a narcissist. I mean, all the CEOs are narcissists too, but like you also have to have a political acumen to like understand how to do this and how to build power and not just be like, I'm the CEO, I'm going to tell you what to do. Like you have to build coalitions and all this stuff. Oh, somebody said Katniss Everdeen. Luke, I've never watched that. No. Okay. Let's see who else. Someone said Ro Khanna. I don't know what I feel about that. Too close to the tech world, I think. But again, House members, I like governors, senators. I don't actually know who my dream candidate. I said this. Like, I mean, I worked for Barack Obama. I would need him to be more progressive now than he ended up being. But like that type of a communicator would be amazing. And I do think it's funny when people are like, well, if Trump runs for a third term and no one stops him, then Barack Obama should step up too, right? Now that would be an interesting battle.
Yeah.
That I think we'd win.
Oh,
but
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No, we wouldn't win some of those states we won before with him. Like what's crazy is I remember we won Indiana in 2008. We won North Carolina. We won the district in Nebraska. We won Iowa. In Virginia at the time was like a hard one. Somebody said, who was the D senator in Montana? Oh, you're talking about
John Tester.
John Tester, who I played basketball against once. And by the way, his left hand is this. He doesn't have the middle fingers. Wow. He just has 2 fingers on one hand. and the five fingers. I'll tell this story because it's a funny one. So we had a basketball court at Interior, and my first boss was Ken Salazar, who was Attorney General in Colorado. Then he was a senator in Colorado, and then he became Interior Secretary in the Obama administration. Somehow I became his basketball like consigliere. I'd get called into his office. I'm like, oh my God, what is this? And it was like, who's playing tonight? I'm like, oh. And John Tester and his Montana team comes in, and there was a whole issue with wolves and being endangered species at the time. And it was a contentious issue with the secretary and the senator. Tester rolls in, and Salazar's already on the court. He starts calling, like doing wolf sounds to him. And I'm like, oh my God, what is going on here? And then I ended up guarding Tester a few times. The dude's 300 pounds. I ran
What are
into
you
that-
guarding then?
He was by height. I don't know. Like, this is not the NBA, Luke. Like, it's a bunch of political people who are shitty at basketball playing with each other.
I have a
And-
question.
Yeah.
Was this on Obama's $400 million basketball court?
Here we go. Shots fired.
I have played on the White House basketball court, and I promise you that thing is not
The
400.
former White House.
Oh,
basketball court,
I know.
I know they tell
Yeah.
it, but like, there's not even lights on that thing because we had to cancel. We canceled because of darkness. We played for like 30 minutes. It was like, it's dark. We got to go. So I don't know where that 400 million went, but yeah, no, that was a tennis court that they turned into a basketball court. But I have a feeling that didn't cost $400 million. But yeah, no, I mean the 400 million was under the birth certificate, right? Like
It was the
that's
full
clearly.
upgrade, wasn't it? Yeah, of the White
Oh,
House.
and then he's demolished. The funny part is he's demolished the East Wing, and that $250 million renovation is now like actually it's 400 million.
He called it 400 million.
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
gotta-
what do people think about JB Pritzker? Someone mentioned that.
He's all right.
No.
He's a billionaire. I don't
No,
love him.
He's a billionaire. Yeah.
yeah, no.
I'm anti-billionaire.
Eat the rich.
gotta-
I'm for it.
I got a kind of a question that might frame it a little better. Instead of like fictional characters, what leader of another country would you want that's currently leading or alive at least? Like, so like Angela Merkel might count. I don't know. Who of another country would you like leading the US? And I think that's an incredibly difficult question because we're such a different beast.
Right.
But I don't know. I mean, I would love to say something like, and this is me shilling as a Ukraine guy, Zelensky, but he's got baggage. Even as great
yeah,
as
there's some stuff there.
even
Right?
as
Like,
great as he is as a wartime leader for Ukraine, he's got a lot of domestic baggage. So I mean,
the corruption is pretty bad, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to pick a European leader because they're so independently hegemonic within their own worlds. Like the UK is the UK, Germany is Germany. And so
That's a great. I've never thought of this before.
What about the lady from Mexico?
I do like her.
that's a solid one right there. There you go. Yeah,
I like
you got a
her.
win right off the bat. That's no fun. Thanks.
Well,
Well, she
she's
got
good.
one over on Trump with the border
Yeah,
thing.
she's good. She's solid.
Yeah. She said, yeah, I'll put troops on the border. They were already there.
They were already
right,
there.
It's already
exactly.
like yeah.
Yeah.
Fellas, I'm being summoned, so I got to bounce.
All right. Well, we will. We should probably wrap up here in a minute, but yeah, you go ahead and.
Yes, sir.
Say
Got
hello
to
to
take the
the
dog
missus.
out.
We
will.
went wildly into politics away from the.
Well, I want to
energy
answer this
foreign
question and then
policy,
we can wrap up because I guess it is late. At least for me. Oh God, that is a hard question because most of them are not good. Does Nelson Mandela count, or does he have to be alive?
If you want, that's fine. I mean, it is difficult because all the great ones have seemingly died in the last 10 years, it seems like. So
What do you guys think of Justin Trudeau? Do you want Katy Perry as the first lady?
Jesus. I like some of the strong female leaders out of the Nordic countries, and like you have Fredriksson out of Denmark. I don't think that's Nordic technically, or Baltic, I guess. I think that's a solid one. I mean, it's hard to you can't overcome Matt's pick. That was a good one. So she's
Wait, Matt,
solid.
who did you say? Oh, the Mexico. Yeah. I mean, that is a good one.
Scheinbaum, is that her name?
Steinbaum. Yeah.
Is that
Actually,
it?
and first Jewish president.
I didn't want to
Mexico,
get it
I think.
wrong. That's why I didn't say her name.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
you
Jacinda
can't-
Ardern. I that's not a bad one.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
yeah,
know from I mean, small countries, but like she was good. The former prime minister, but she's not. I think you're talking world traveler. You're talking about the former prime minister of Finland, the one that got like ripped apart in the press for dancing.
Yeah,
Actually, my most popular LinkedIn
but she's also like a
post
sniper.
ever. What's that?
She's also like a sniper. There's like because they all have they all have to
serve, right?
yeah, they all have to join the military for a certain amount of time, and so she's like out there rocking targets 200 yards away.
Didn't
so.
she? Was she the one that pushed for Finland to join NATO?
Yeah,
Yeah, because it was Finland and Sweden, right? That both joined.
I don't know if I
Great
would
move by
put her
Sweden.
higher than Scheinbaum though. She deals Finland. It's so easy to pick. Like you're doing great in Finland. I mean, yeah, everyone speaks the same language. Everyone it looks the same. Everyone gets the same education. It's and that's not.
Do they have
Finland.
natural resources like Norway has?
Yeah, I mean they have natural resources. Russia definitely wants too. So, but
Right.
yeah,
Well,
they
I'm
all
just
have
saying
that kind of same.
Norway has the sovereign fund that is like from their oil
that.
and all that. I don't know if that's a Mr. Global question, but does Finland, like, I know they're like next to each other, but I don't know if they have the same. They don't have the ocean.
I don't know what they have access to. I know they have I believe they have enormous amounts of hydroelectric power.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was thinking about that, but small population don't need a lot of resources,
Right.
So
yeah,
it's tougher. Yeah.
It's easy to run a country like that. I think that's why I like leaned into Matt's pick a little bit because I think Mexico's a bit more difficult. I think the U.S. and this isn't to say like our presidents are always the best, but I think the U.S. is probably one of the, if not the most difficult country in the world to run. So,
I would say that we are by far the toughest. I mean, just from the diversity and the size. I mean, like, honestly, Oklahoma and Brooklyn could like be different countries, right? Like it's just such a different world. Anytime I've gone to the middle of the country, I have friends in Kansas and in Missouri, I'd be like, where the hell am I? Like, what is this? Like, I just, I'm a coastal person. And, the guy in the bubble that Saturday Night Live joked about Brooklyn being in the bubble. Like, we don't have the same, it's just very different. Or I went to California, which our values are the same, but like, I get on a train to go to JFK and it's 18 degrees and I land in 80-degree weather. And I'm like, where the hell am I? Like, what is this? So I think that we are the hardest because, I mean, Russia would be if it was a democracy, but as a dictatorship, he still struggles, but
when I was in France, there was these, and bless their hearts, they were just the most amazing people over there. This girl was a teenager. She's like, I'm graduating and I want to go to the United States and I'm going to fly to New York. And then like 3 days later, I'm going to Miami. And I'm like, whoa, okay. That's like, you're going to spend a day getting to Miami. So
you're going to not enjoy that trip.
Like they would be shocked because I lived in Germany and I'm like, I'm driving to Paris. They're like, you're driving? I'm like, yeah, it's only like 7 hours away. So I was like, I live in Idaho. The next big city is 7 hours from me. So like, it's kind of fascinating. So I just, Matt,
I think Matt, like, nailed it with the first one. And now we're just like trying to scrape up some other people that might be, I mean, Angela Merkel, like probably a little.
Ursula von der Leyen, she's not bad as the EU president. So, and she's got to manage diversity there, but
I tell you, one country we don't want any leaders from, France.
Yeah.
Did Sarkozy went to jail, right?
Yeah, Sarkozy. I feel like a lot of them end up going to jail. So.
I know. Yeah, I was like, why would you want to be president of France? You're gonna end up in prison.
Same thing with the UK. They have a new one every like 6 months. So
yeah, Keir's. I mean, I'm glad that Labour is in power, but like, it doesn't seem like it's going. I mean, they have all kinds of Brexit. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I would consider Brexit the greatest own goal in economic history. Would that be it? Would you agree with, or is there something worse? But I mean, they just completely shot themselves in the foot with that. All right.
I mean, I could probably think of an American version of that if you give me a sec, but
Iraq.
I will say Trans-Pacific sucked for us. That hurt us getting out of that.
Yeah. Wait, who did that?
That was Trump 1.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Lots of stupid shit from him.
Brexit was worse though. Yeah.
I mean, Brexit. I mean, they have been like screwed since the day it happened. And they were promising like all this amazing shit. And then I remember when that passed, I was like, well, thank God that's not going to happen here. And then Trump was elected, 3 months later? And I was like, oh, the march towards progressivism is not happening in the way that I thought it would. So, whoops. Whoops. Well, guys, I think that we've gone for an hour and a half. I think this is kind of how the lives go. You guys are obviously going to be on these again. I'm glad. I'm so glad that we also announced that American Power is coming. And I would just recommend that you check out wearefindout.com, which is the Find Out Media website, just the very beginnings of one. NAFTA. Yeah, that was probably
a good one. Yeah,
too.
NAFTA.
Yeah, that was the Bill Clinton one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Trump pulled out of too.
Yeah.
That one.
But anyways, guys, I'm so excited that we're all in this together and that we are trying to basically save this country from falling up completely off the cliff. We're like hanging, right? Like we're the action star, like hanging on the edge right now. But I think we're going to pull ourselves up. And if all these people who are listening are with us, yes, our wonderful moderator, behind the scenes guy, who you both know, but is behind the scenes, is putting that up. So people should check that out. But in January, I think we're going to probably announce at least another 3 or 4 shows with you guys. And we're also building an app where everyone can get this information without algorithms. There's all kinds of great stuff coming. So thank you, everybody, for listening. And everybody go follow Chad and Matt on all of the socials, but TikTok in particular. I wish there were 2,500 people in here that I could encourage to go follow me so I could finally hit the 100,000. But I think I'm just going to have to scrape there. This is like first world problems, if you've ever heard them, right? Like, it's like, oh my God, but let's see. Mr. Global is going to need an oil rig with his face on it for merch. Oh, we haven't talked about merch with you guys yet. We definitely should do that because we have a merch store, which now everyone's going to roll their eyes because now I have to do the pitch. If you want to buy our merch, you can go to findoutpodcast.com. Or if you want to get a membership, you can go to findoutpodcast.substack.com. And once we get American Power set up, we'll be able to set up those memberships and all that fun stuff. So thank you, Roger. Thank you, Daniel, Can, all these people. Thank you very much. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. This has been fun. Get some sleep. And we'll be back soon.
Yeah, definitely. Have a good one.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk soon.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Have a good one. Let's see if I can actually.